Hello, everyone. This is Martin. That's me here in the top left-hand corner. And we are all students, traders from around the world. You and me, we are rocketing to the planet called Forex, okay? And for this week, we're looking at trading opportunities for November 6th to the 10th. That's this coming week. And the theme for this entire week is we are needing more evidence. We are needing to see more evidence because last week wasn't a terrific week for trend direction. And so we are looking to see what's going to happen this week. We are looking for more evidence. And I'll explain exactly what that means when we look at the individual currency pairs as we get to the charts. Okay, before we do that, I want you to have a look at this risk disclaimer. It's always really important. The main thing is that the video that I'm presenting for you right now is for educational purposes. And even though I give you some specific trade ideas and price levels where you could enter trades, you're always doing this at your own risk. So I want you to understand that very, very clearly. Trading Forex carries a high level of risk, and if you're trading with real money, be very careful what you're doing. So always use trade management. That means always using stop losses and watch your trades all the time. Okay, so with that having been said, we are now going to continue on to our chart. Okay, at the beginning, I mentioned that we are looking for more evidence this week. Overall, the markets kind of traded sideways last week without any sense of direction. This coming week, we will look for more evidence to tell us which way the currency pairs will go. Of course, this depends on the USD, which is mixed so far as direction is concerned. So, depending on what happens with the USD currency, we'll know what is going to happen next. Also, do you remember last week on Thursday, British pound raised the interest rate by 1/4%, yet price fell in a big thud? Well, the simple answer is politics, okay? But again, you can read more information on online forums or some of the experts around there as to why that happened. So not always does economic news, in this case the interest rate, become positive. In fact, it became negative, and there was some dovish talk by the Bank of England as to some of their concerns in the future, even though they did raise their interest rates after many years. So trading is risky at any time, and especially if you're trading the news. We're going to look at the British pound as well. Now, let's get looking to this Euro USD. You can see this is a daily chart. We always use the daily charts, and price has been moving in a pattern here. You can see between the lower and upper trend line. This is a bearish channel, okay? And I believe price in the short term will come down. But when I said last week, a lot of the markets were not that clear. We're looking for direction. Well, you can see the sideways pattern right there, right? So we're looking for a breakout to the bottom side here. And if you think price is going to go lower, you could look at sells below 115.86. Okay, if you think price is going to go higher, then look for a breakout above 117.03 to the upside. Okay, so that takes care of the Euro USD. Let me clean that chart up and let's get going to the British pound USD. Okay, here you can see this big, huge bearish candle on Thursday with the interest rate hike. British pound, the Bank of England did raise the interest rates by 1/4%. It was the first interest rate hike in a long, long time. But with the good news, it should have been good news, price actually plummeted. So, um, there's an old saying in trading that you trade the rumor. In this case, look at the price before the actual Thursday. Price did go up and up and up, and then suddenly with the news, price went down. So the old saying in trading goes something like this: trade the rumor. The rumor was the possible interest rate hike, and I'm sure pretty well everyone, all the experts knew that was going to happen, and then sell the news, and that's exactly what happened here. So I believe price is actually going to come down a little bit lower to retest this lower trend line. However, if you believe price is going to go lower, you could look at sells below 130.26, and on the upside, look at price breaking above 133.19. Okay, so or you can just wait and just wait for more evidence. Now, I would not suggest trading the very first day of this coming week. This is the weekend, so the markets are closed right now because of this huge price drop and the uncertainty as to what could happen next. I would not trade the Sunday, Monday market open. Okay, perhaps wait for the next candle to close to give you further clues, further direction. Okay, so let's move on to the next pair, Australian USD. Same thing here. You can see markets last week, and when I say last week, take a look at this red vertical line. Okay, so all the candles to the right side of this red vertical line is what happened last week. Okay, so from here to here, the first candle, white candle, is the Sunday, Monday trading. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, so just to make that clear, especially for some of the traders from around the world, this is a 5-day candle. 5-day candles basically per week. Okay, and this red line is the close on the previous Friday. Okay, so take a look sideways again. Okay, and I believe price is going to come down, but again, you can wait for more evidence or look at sells below 0.7623. And on the upside, you could look at buys above 0.7730. Okay, so now we move to the gold. I always look at gold in tandem with the Australian dollar because the Australian dollar is tied into how well gold is doing. And you can see it's almost like a mirror. Same sideways pattern, and we had a bearish candle on Friday, and so price probably or possibly could come down. This is the 200 right there, okay? And here's a nice big support zone I've drawn in for you with the gray rectangle. So I believe price is going to come down lower to test, and then from here it might bounce higher again. So that is gold, and if gold comes down, that's gonna, Australian dollar may follow suit as well. So now we move on to the New Zealand dollar, and New Zealand dollar actually on Thursday closed slightly above the 8 EMA, but however on Friday ended up with a doji, okay? And this is what's called a pullback phase. So price did come down. This was a bearish market, but now price is pulling back. So in a pullback phase, what you want to do is look for further evidence to the downside. So you're looking for another candle, bearish candle to close lower, and possibly look at an aggressive trade would be right underneath that white candle here on Thursday. Or I've got something here for you. You could look at trades below 0.6878. Now on the upside, you could be looking at buys above 0.6953. Okay. Now we move on to the next one, US CAD. Again, you can see what happened last week. Price went up a bit, tried to go higher, and then finally the sellers pulled it down, and it actually closed below the 8, but it's sitting at support here. So if you believe that price is going to go higher, you can look at buys above 128.38. If you believe price is going to go lower, you can look at trades below 127.10. But again, this is really short I'm sorry. I've got okay. I'm looking at something wrong here. So there's two ways to play this market. One, look at buys above 128.38, which is what I just said. However, I believe price may come down lower, and what you're looking for is a bounce. In other words, looking for price to come down lower. Right here, do you see the this EMA here, and then bounced higher? Okay, and wait for the bounce to come back up. So this would be a trend continuation trade down and up above 127.10. And that's why you see this up arrow. I've got the up arrow to say that this is not a trade to the downside I'm looking at, although you can. I mean, price closes below this price here. If it closes below 27.10, then you possibly could be looking at further downside movement. But right now, I'm looking at price to come down first, then bounce higher, but bounce higher above 127.10, or just wait for more evidence above 128.38. Now this also is a uptrending market, and we are in what's called a pullback phase. So we basically are looking, the thing I would be looking at is bullish evidence to the upside. Okay. Now, the next one is oil, and I look at oil because oil is, um, uh, uh, depending on how oil goes, so does the Canadian dollar. You can see we had a huge bullish move up after the resistance. This is resistance, okay? And huge upward movement, and I've drawn in two horizontal lines above. You can see that right here. So the first one is at 56 and the next one is at 57. These are resistance areas. If price breaks here, it will go higher, but at some point it's going to come down. So watch for a bounce off of any of these two areas, okay? But right now oil is going up, and that's also helping the Canadian dollar especially against the US dollar. So Canadian dollar getting stronger, US dollar getting weaker as in the previous chart. Okay, now we move on to the US Swiss franc. Here, prices kind of gone sideways. You can see on Thursday we had a huge bearish candle. Then we have a doji. So there's there's a nice tug of war going on between the buyers and sellers. This is resistance right here, and price is sitting at resistance with Friday's close. So I'm looking at a buy above 10042 or a sell below 0.9940. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. We are in a bullish market, just to make things clear. This is a bullish market. You can also tell here, see all the bars. This is my trending indicator. All the bars are above zero, except on Friday we had a kind of a red momentum bar that just closed a little bit lower. But still, we are in an uptrend. This is just a kind of a little bit of or a short pullback. Okay, it's called a pullback. So next chart, let's take a look. And after that is the US Japanese yen. Okay, this one's kind of interesting. Price after making a pretty good move higher. You can see that right here. It kind of stalled around here at resistance. This is major resistance because look to your left, right there. And this is another major resistance area. And then price came back in a pullback. Then price went up again. Okay, you can see that right there. But right now, price is again at major resistance. And here you can see what happened on Thursday and Friday. Last Thursday, we had kind of a doji, and then on Friday another doji. So the bulls and bears are having a pretty good fight up in this area. Will price go higher or lower? Well, I've drawn in what's called a pennant, and often with this kind of a trading activity, price may go up again to test this area, but then price may come down and at some point maybe break lower. Okay, so it may, but it may just come down and then bounce back higher again. Okay, so this is price right now is contained within a pennant, and basically we're consolidating because we're not making any new highs just as yet. Last week we did not make a new high because look at the previous high, look at the previous high up here. Okay, so again, we have to wait for more evidence. That's the theme for this week. And if we're thinking that price is going to go higher, we could look at buys above 114.52. If we believe price is going to come down lower, you could wait and look for a play below 113.50. Now we get to some cross pairs, and you can see with the previous week we fell below the bottom trend line here, and last week price came down quite a ways. Let me just do this. Okay, so price came down quite a ways, came to a major support area, and you can see this is a confluence of support because we've got the 200, we've got the gray rectangle. Again, look at the previous swing low. Again, move your eyes to the left of the chart. Again, another previous swing low. You see price never went below this area. Numerous times it bounced higher off this gray rectangle, which is major support. And again, price did come down last week to support, but bounced up in a huge way again because of the interest rate hike. This is a news related candle. So on Friday, we had a black bearish candle. We are now stuck between the 8 and the 50. The 50 is acting as dynamic resistance as well. So what will happen from here? Well, it's hard to tell because this is a cross pair with the British pound. So you're waiting and looking for more evidence. But again, I've got some levels here on the chart. So if we think price is going to go higher, you could be looking at buys above 0.8942. If we believe price is going to go lower, well, below 0.8848. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now we are moving along to the Euro Japanese. Let me just crunch this down a bit. Okay, again, you can see the first thing that we see here, we've got a previous swing high, which was also tested not last week, because these are the candles from last week, but the previous week. So price failed to make another high. And then it's pulled back and bounced again higher above the 50, but it's kind of stuck. So again, as with a lot of the other pairs, it's going sideways. You have to wait for more evidence. In this case, we're looking for price to break above 133.20 to the upside, or if you think price is going to go lower, well then below 131.80 to the downside. Now we're going to move along, and we've got a couple more pairs left. The Euro Audi. Okay, this one, same thing, kind of last week. You can see up and then down and then up. So again, as all the other pairs, really just going sideways. Um, the only thing I can say about this, we are still in a overall bullish market, okay? And the reason I say that is, price goes higher, okay, makes a new higher high, new higher low, new higher high, new higher low. From here, price could go up to test this resistance zone I've already marked in here for. So if you believe price is going to go higher, then look for buys above 152.45 or on the downside below 150.86. Again, you have to wait and look for more evidence, okay? And now we're going to go to our last pair. You know what that is. It's the British pound JPY, Japanese yen. And you can take a look. Price is being contained within a very large triangle or pennant, okay? And again, this big black candle was as a result of last Thursday's interest rate hike. So the British pound went down against Japanese yen. And I believe this pair is just going to kind of keep bobbing up and down, sideways. We're in a sideways consolidation, so not much is going to happen. If you think price is going to come lower, you want to look at sells below 148.55. And on the upside, you could be looking at buys above 150.12. Okay, so again, remember, We're consolidating. It could still keep going sideways, up and down for a while before we have a clear break to either the upside or to the downside. Anyways, that concludes our the video. For more information on my courses, and I've got a few courses available for you, or if you need any help, please contact me. My name is Martin, and you have to email me. Nothing fancy here, so it's mskyj007 at gmail.com. If you email me, let me know what you need or what you would like from me. You can contain that information in the email. Look forward to hearing from you, and to all the other traders and everyone else out there, happy trading. Take care and be careful this week. Bye for now.